Good afternoon. Welcome back to Balance, Wellness, and Fitness. I'm Leslie Taylor Oren. We are back in the Cat Cave. Today I have for you a session for golfers. I have a little bonus at the end for you. So if you need to go ahead and fast forward to that, go right ahead. It's some basic stretches and mobility you can do right when you get out of your car. So if you get there to the course and you don't have time to warm up because of traffic or work, or if you're playing with people who just like to get right out at it and kind of snicker at you a little bit because you need to take that time to warm up, that is for you. So if you need to go ahead and fast forward that to begin. Otherwise, let's get ready to talk about what you're going to do for this session. So with this session today, I'm going to divide it up in 4 parts. We're going to work on awareness of the pelvis. We're going to work on some general strengthening, some flexibility and mobility mixed in as well. For equipment, you're going to need your mat, small ball towel or pillow, a looped band, one that's tied together, light and medium weights, possibly heavy when we get to the weighted section. I'm going to use a yoga strap for some of the standing rotational things. You could use one of your golf clubs. Just make sure when we change sides, turn the side, just keeping that weight balance. A yardstick or broomstick without the bristles on it will work as well. If you're ready to go ahead down, go ahead onto your mat. If you're feeling really, really stiff and need to warm up, go ahead, turn this off and warm up. Everything is going to be progressive in nature, but better if you're a little bit warmer to go on into the session. But if you're ready, let's make our way on down. Always safely. Take your time. You're going to lie on your back. Check out your feet before you go down. Make sure they're at least 2 fist distance apart, toes are reaching forward. Once you're down, we're going to find that neutral spine. That means you have your natural curve in your lower lumbar. You can get your fingers underneath there. You can tighten your abs. Make sure you don't start pressing on into it. Just tighten them lightly. You should not be able to get your fist underneath there. If you put your hands on top of your pelvis, on the bone, it's nice and level. Draw your shoulders down and keep them wide so you can feel your collarbones open in front and your scapula is resting on the back. We're going to start with the pelvic rocks. I'd like you to think of the top of your head or your face being 12 o'clock, down by your knees is 6 o'clock. So we're going to lift the pelvis by tightening the abdominals, pulling slightly in. You should feel your lower back lengthen and lifting up, coming towards noon. And then as you release, you're going to go the opposite way and feel your back arch. You can take your thumbs and put it at the bottoms of your ribs and your fingers to the top of your pelvis and feel everything move. We're going to go back, lifting up, going towards 12 o'clock. Now we're going to go the opposite way, lifting the top, going towards the bottom. Let's do a couple more. And then we're going to add 3 and 9 o'clock in. Just moving through. Use your breath, don't hold your breath. Give yourself 1 more rock each way. And then find that neutral spine again, right in the middle. Now we're going to pretend that the left side of your body is 3 o'clock and the right side is 9 o'clock. Your knees are going to move a little bit. I don't want you to force your feet into the ground. But if you start feeling everything rocking, you know those hips need to be strengthened a little bit more along with the lower back, and those are things that we're going to address with this. Lift up. Your hip is going to lift slightly, but think of tipping your pelvis over towards 9 o'clock. Then bring it back down. Now 9 o'clock is going to go towards 3 o'clock. And back down. And let's do that several more times. Again, if everything is really stiff, it may take a few. And if you've never moved your pelvis like this before, it's a definite new sensation. If you've had an accident or abdominal surgery you may have done, this is called the pelvic clock. And if you haven't, welcome. You got to learn something new today. I'm not making this up. Let's get 1 more each side, and then we're going to start to find those muscles. Once you're even, let's just do a regular pelvic tilt. That's going to be our start. On your exhale, bring 12 and 6 towards each other, lightly flattening versus rocking back and forth as if you had a bowl of water. And then gently release back to your neutral. Now, Pull down if there's somebody on the other side of your belly button. Don't think of smashing. And release. Make this an exhale. Think of everything coming together and be touched by your belly button or right below. You feel those muscles tighten and feel them soften. Let's get 3 more. Draw those structures towards each other. Not so hard that your neck moves. And release. If you don't get it right now, practice will help, and just shoot me an email. We'll figure it out. 1 more here. Now I really want you to place your hands on your belly and feel that tightness. Feel how everything drew together. Or to do that, we're going to our sides. And let's bring 3 o'clock up and tighten those muscles. Feel those muscles engage, release, flatten back outwards. Stay with 3 o'clock. Tip that bowl of water over, squeeze those muscles in and towards each other. Release back down. And lift 3 o'clock, taking it towards 9, tighten those muscles. Look and see what your knees are doing. Try to encourage them to stay. And release. Don't worry, we'll have work for them as well. Lift up, shifting that bowl of water, tighten those muscles. Release back down. Just going to use some of this awareness when you're standing as well. And release. Now think of shifting 9 o'clock, lifting up to there. Now tighten those muscles. Pull in and release. So think of pulling in through the belly button and pull slightly up towards your diaphragm. You can engage your pelvic floor here as well. Let's get 3 more. Good. Inhale and release. Lift up. Exhale, tighten those muscles. You never want to inhale and tighten. Your abdominal muscles are in multiple layers. And if you start flowing into them, you're going to make that a tight pooch. Nobody wants that, and actually it will cause problems in your spine over time. Here's our last one. Come back center, give yourself that regular pelvic tilt, drawing the structures together, lightly flattening your spine. That should feel really nice. We're going to do 3 more of those, and then we're going to do what's called the pelvic peel, taking a little bit more up, an articulated bridge to start warming up the spine and some of those muscles that are very intricate for your golf game. 1 more. And you're going just right to the top of your pelvis. You're not trying to lift up, you're just lengthening it. Now we're going to start to add a little bit of a lift, what's called a pelvic peel. You're going to lift on up just to the bottom of your ribs. So right about belly button. You don't want to go up any further. And then lower back down 1 vertebrae 1 inch at a time. This is an exhale. Draw the abs in, peel up. Take a breath here. Exhale, roll back down, getting control over that. If you can have blowing through the straw here to make that a little deeper, those transverse abdominis muscles, that'll make that even more effective for strengthening all the little multifidi that go around the facets of the spine. 1 more. 5 won't hurt you. That's the normal number I have people start with anyway. We're going to take this to an articulated bridge. So go from that pelvic tilt to a pelvic peel. I'd like you to go up into where you feel like you want to shift your neck or your collarbone. Stop there, feet are flat on the ground. Exhale, use those abdominals to help lower down so that way you can engage the back. And again, exhale, lifting up 1 vertebrae at a time. There's light pressure in the feet, so the legs aren't doing the work. Take a breath, lower back down. 2 more, then we're going to do 5 regular bridges. Exhale, lower down. Keep the neck nice and long. Don't try to work through your feet or your arms. Here's your last one. This will help your mobility. Because while you're working in different planes with your golf game, the mono rotation, you need those multifidi strong. Now, hip hinge bridge. Take those toes long, press through your feet, squeeze through your bottom, lift up. Pause here for a moment. Walk the arms down a little bit. Pretend there's somebody underneath and somebody over top pulling. The person underneath is pushing you up. Now release that to lower down. Press through the feet, squeeze through the glutes to lift. It shouldn't be just the legs going along or just the glutes going along. And release. Keep those abs in and up. We're going to stay here and draw those abs in and up. So pull down towards the spine. Feel that tighten by your lower belly. Keep that there. Release legs and glutes. Press back up. Try to keep those abs. Release down. Press back up. And release down. And press back up. Release everything for a moment. Hug your knees into your chest, because if you've never done that before, you're probably going, ah, ah. Or maybe just stressed because I've never done that before. Did I find those muscles? You can always stop this and repeat as many times as needed, but don't go to the point you're so tired you can't do the rest of the workout. Let's lower the legs on down, roll to your better side. Never do one of these things to try to flip yourself up. Roll to your side as we're going to make our way back standing. We're going to go to our general strength section here, but we're going to start out with finding that awareness as we prepare for our squats. Feet are 2 fist distance. That means your fist hip between the armpit distance apart. We turn a little bit on a diagonal here. Toes are reaching forward. Now soften to your knees a little bit. Place the thumbs on the bottom of the ribs and the top of the pelvis. And bring 3 o'clock forward, take it back. 9 o'clock forward, take it back. Bring 6 o'clock up. Bring noon down. Feel what is happening there. Now bring them all towards each other. Find that little tightening there. I want you to keep the abs in, up towards the diaphragm, add the pelvic floor if you need. You have a slight length of the tailbone so you don't have 6 o'clock running away at 12 o'clock coming towards it. You never want to be there, whether it's golf or not. 10 squats here. Let's take a breath, float the arms out, press the ground away, squeeze the glutes to come up. Keep that ab engagement. Sit back and up. Your gaze is going to change. Don't try to crook your neck to keep seeing and looking at something ahead of you. Let your head go along with the rest of your spine. You've got 5 more, pressing away and up. This first set will be out without any bands or weights because I want you to find that musculature and really work on holding the abs there. 3 more. Drop and up. Drop and up. Last one for now. Hold all of that there, soften to the knees. We're going to hinge over for center rows. If you lost it hinging, draw everything back in. Let your arms hang. Just pretend you're holding light weights. Don't go to total white knuckle there. With an inhale, purposely squeeze the shoulders, long spine. Exhale and release. With an inhale, squeeze. Because you can grab as heavy weights as you want, but if you're using the wrong muscles, you've lost battle there. Squeeze those shoulder blades in. This is for the back, because a lot of times the biceps will take over and you're pulling stuff and your back is just, hey, I'll let them do it. We've got 4 more here. Inhale, squeeze, release. We're going for strength, not muscular endurance. That's why we're not pulling it. Work speed and release and squeeze, release. Let's get 1 more because I think that was only 9. Gently release the arms down. Press yourself tall. We're going to work the abdominals this time, so release the pelvic floor if you can. If you're a back problem, please don't. We're going to inhale as we sit with our squat. Exhale, blow through the straw. As you're coming up, you should feel the difference in the hollowing out. Inhale, exhale. Going for 5. Then we're staying down. Here's 3. 2. Trying to hollow out those abs for 1. Now let's hinge from the hips. Keep the abdominal engagement. Come back down. We're going to pull the arms straight back. Bend over rear delt, pull back, and float them back out. We're going to do 5 of these. Just getting some mobility in the backs of the arms. 4. 5. Let those arms hang there, knuckles looking down, pretending to hold those weights lightly. With an inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, reaching out if you were putting something on end tables on either side of you. Think long versus high. On your exhale, try to hollow out the abs more. Again, lead with those shoulder blades. Don't let the back just go, and release. And we'll squeeze. Release 3, squeeze, 4. Inhale, squeeze, 5. The inhale is important here to work the serratus, posterior, and anterior. Here's 7, and release. 8, release. Inhale, squeeze 9. release, because it's not just about the shoulders, because then you can put the exhale and inhale and invert them. Give yourself another breath here. Let's press the ground away. Come up tall, roll your shoulders. We're going to do an easy knee lift here. Keep that ab engagement, tailbone slightly lengthened. We're going to start with that right side. Shift your weight ever so lightly. Spread the toes. Pull up to the kneecap, tighten your bum. Lift the leg, tap down. Lift, tap 2. Lift, tap 3. Lift, tap 4. Lift, tap 5. Lift, tap 6. Lift, tap 7. Lift, tap 8. Keeping that engagement. 9. And lift, and 10. Other side. Pull up that kneecap, tighten that bum, and float that leg up, tap down. Stay nice and steady. 2, 3, lift, 4, lift, 5, where's your abs? Where's that stability side of the hip? 8, lift, 9, lift, and 10. I'm going to lower that down. We're going to get several lateral raises here. Arms are long. We're reaching for those end tables. Make sure you're not doing this. You're not doing this. It's your shoulders, not your biceps. So float the arms long and lower. 2 and lower. If you're not certain what you're working, let's pause at 5. We're going to do 3 arms for each arm so you can feel. Take that left hand over on that right shoulder. When you feel that deltoid engaged, that's as far as you need to go. Lower down. Let's do 2 more here. Don't worry, we're going to get some weighted steps. Again, this is about finding the right muscles. Let's go to the other side. Lift, lower, 2, lower, and 3, and lower. Standing tall again. We're just going to bring our arms up, extend them out long, drop your shoulder blades, torso rotations. Press the ground away with your legs. Don't lock, but lengthen. Going to the right first. Inhale as you turn, because we're still warming everything up a little bit more. Exhale, tighten the abs center. Just going through the ribs to start. When we make this bigger, we will go through the hips. 3. Going for 5 for each side. 4 and 5. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that ab engagement. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. Good. Lower the arms down. We're going for an easy side step to the right. Step out, transfer the weight, squeeze the glutes to come back up. It's going to be mainly that stability side that's squeezing you up. So that left side's doing a lot of work right now. 3. 4. Other side. Step, hold that ab engagement. 2. Squeeze off this glute. 3. 4. And 5. Find your balance. Turn that left leg out just slightly. Tighten to the glute. Lift up. Hover that right leg. Take it to the side. Bring it in. Inside. In. 3. In. 4. In. 5. And pause there. Change sides. Turn that leg up ever so slightly. Lengthen. Tighten. Flex that left foot. Take it out. Bring it in. Out. In. So it's barely hovering. It's barely touching the ground. But you're not hitching up your hip trying to do this. Because you've got that ab awareness of where your pelvis is at. Good. Give yourself a shoulder roll. Take the arms up here. Make goalpost arms. We're going to lift up out of that right side first, tipping to your left. Take a breath. Exhale as you tip. Bring those abs in more. Inhale up. And again. Exhale, tip. Up for 2. And tip. Up for 3. Exhale, over. Up for 4. And you're welcome if you wanted to put that yardstick or broomstick on in your hands, but not necessary now. Other side. And up. Exhale, over. And up. Think of those ribs opening up. Here's 4. Pull them back down. Don't lift up with your other side. And lift and pull them down. Give yourself a shoulder roll here. We're going to take the arms out, bring them in for a moment, rotate through. If you're turning little doorknobs, bring it down, turn little doorknobs. One more time, little doorknobs. Now let's grab some light weights and your band. You can go ahead and bring that band around your ankles just to have it on steady. We're going to start out with our squats. So if you're not comfortable holding weights with squats, go ahead and sit them down. Again, 2 fists armpit distance apart. When it exhales, you sit back, tighten those abs. Inhale up. Exhale, hollow them out. Up for 2. Hollow out even more. Up for 3, 4, and up. You're pressing through your feet, squeezing through the glutes. 7, and up. 8, and up. 9, and up. And 10. Carefully come up, hinge on over, draw those abs in now, pelvic floor engaged. Center rows here. Inhale again with your squeeze, exhale, release. And squeeze, drawing the shoulder blades into the spine, that's your leader. Release 4, and squeeze. Release 5, and squeeze. Release 6, squeeze. Release 7, squeeze. Release 8, squeeze. Release 9, squeeze. Release down for 10. We're going to pull straight back for 5. Pull back, release. Give it that little hold. Release. Drawing the shoulders down towards the hips. 3. Pull. 4. Pull. And 5. Press the ground away. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Prepare to step to your right side and squat. So you step out, squat, squeeze up, in. Step, toes look forward. Everything is still nice and even. You're stepping into that band. Step. 3, go for 5, 4, and 5. Left side, step into that band. Make sure you're controlling it. Make sure those abdominals are still connected. 2, step, sit, squeeze up, in, step, sit, squeeze up, and in. Pause there. We're going to hinge back over. We've got our rear flies, reaching for those side tables. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Release 2. Inhale, squeeze. Release 3. Inhale, squeeze. Release 4. And squeeze. Halfway. Inhale, squeeze. Release 6. Inhale, squeeze. Release 7. Squeeze. Release 8, squeeze, release 9, and inhale, squeeze, release 10. Give yourself a forward fold, stack your spine over top of your head for a moment, knees soft, and press the ground away to gently roll up one vertebrae at a time. Good. Go to the edge of your mat, and if you have room to take it across your room, go for 10 steps. Otherwise, we're just going to take a little bit smaller step and we'll work our way back and forth across our mat. Traveling squat. You sit and up. 2 and up. 3 and up. 4 and up. 5 and up. 6 and up. 7 and up. 8 and up. 9 and up. Here's 10. We're going to take it back, leading with that opposite leg. Toes are looking forward. You still have that ab connection. And 3 and up. 4 and up. 5 and up. Even when you're shifting directions, everything's linear. 7 and up. 8 and up. 9 and up. And 10. Gently come up, find your way back to your mat. In case it got away from you. Take the legs a little bit wide now so you do feel some resistance in the band and press into it. Lift up through those arches. You should be right about shoulder width apart. We're going to get a set of scap squeezes and then a set of lateral raises. Then we're going to set our weights down momentarily. Those scap squeezes, you're going, yes, back is huge here. Squeeze in with an inhale. Shoulder blades just come together, arms hang long. Exhale, release, just 5 release. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Inhale, squeeze, and release. Helps open up the pecs as well. Now draw the legs in your 2 fist distance apart. Soften through the knees. And if whatever you grab feels too much and you already know you need to go to delt raises, go to a delt raise. Because everybody hits a point where you have to for safety of the shoulder. Doesn't matter if you're a professional lineman or if you're 105 and you're still out on the golf course. Everybody hits that point. So here we go. If it's still light weights that you have in your hands, you didn't go big. Well, 20s are my light weights. If you're using 20s, you need to be here to delt raise. Float those arms up, reach for the end tables. Again, think of the muscle you're working versus what should not be helping you. 3, lower, 4, lower, 5. Knuckles nice and straight so they're not curved down and they're not extended up. 7, maybe 6, 7, lower, 8, lower, 9, we're in the range, lower, and 10. Gently lower, give yourself that shoulder roll. We sit these down momentarily. Grab your broomstick or your yardstick if you're using your golf club. If you're going to use a yoga strap like I am, we're going to press back into that, but not too overly wide. Knees are a little soft, toes are forward. Think of your golf stance here. So you've got that little slight tip. So you think 3, 6, 12, and 9, where everything is level, abs are in and up. Bring your position here, just to the right first. Inhale through the ribs, exhale center. And through the ribs, center 2. Through the ribs, center 3. 2 more through the ribs, then we go for the hips. Last through the ribs, now go for the hips. Go for your bigger swing, and center. And turn, exhale center. Hollow out those abs. 3, and turn, 4, and turn, 5. Good. Let's prepare for that other side. Recheck everything where your knees are looking at towards those middle toes, where your tailbone is at, the 3, 6, 9, and 12 are at, just for the ribs first. Inhale, turn, exhale, center, and turn, 2, and turn, 3, 4, and turn, and 5, now through the hips. Bigger turn. Good. Turn 3. Exhale. Turn 4. Exhale. Turn 5. And exhale. Press the ground away to come up. Take the tension off the band. Keep the 2 fist distance apart. Check out where everything is at. Tailbones lengthen. Bring those arms on up to the sky. Knuckles are looking straight up. You're right. Either it just depends on your shoulder mobility. Don't pop your ribs just to bring your arms over your head. You may need your arms full forward. Nothing wrong with that. Go to the right first. Exhale your way over so those ribs on that left side open up. Inhale, close that. Exhale over 2 and close. Take it over 3 and close. Over 4, close. And 5. Take it to the left side. Lift out of those ribs. Purposely pull them down. Lift up. Pull down 2. Lift up. Pull down 3. Exhale it up. Inhale it down. Exhale it up. And inhale it down. Float the arms down. We have one more set with a couple more variations. We're going to add on in. Grab your heavier set of weights. We're going to start out with knee lifts. With that band, yes, 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 we will. You will be fine. Turn that left foot out ever so slightly. Pull up that quadricep, tighten that glute. Lift into that band, tap down. Lift into it, tap 2. Lift, tap 3. So pretend you're climbing a step versus folding and tucking your leg. Halfway. Lift 6, tap. Lift 7, tailbone is down. You have that ab engagement. If you don't have it, get it back. 9, good. And 10. Lower down, rotate that side out, lengthen through the quad, tighten that bump, find those abs, shoulders down, lift into that band, tap, lift 2, tap, lift 3, tap, lift 4, tap, lift 5, tap, lift 6, tap, lift 7, tap, 8, tap, 9, tap, and 10. Good, bring it down. 2 fist distance apart. We're going to get another set of those scap squeezes. With your exhale, squeeze together. Go a little bit differently this time. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Release 2. Exhale, squeeze. Release 3. And squeeze. Release 4. Squeeze. Release 5. Squeeze. Release 6. Squeeze. Release 7. Keep the shoulder blades down. Keep those abs engaged. You're just hollowing out more with that exhale. Here's 10. Gently release. You can hold your weights. We're going to do side to side squats, or you can sit them down if they're feeling cumbersome. Starting with the right side, going for 10. So you sit out into that band, toes forward, squeeze up. Keep everything engaged. Pelvic floor as well. And up. Take this right and up. Take this left and up. And right and up. Left and up. 4 more. Right and up. Left and up. Last one, right and up. Last left. Come up 2 fist distance apart. Keep the abs fully engaged. Hinge on over last set of rows. Turn your palms out for the first 5. Inhale as you squeeze in. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Release for 2. And squeeze. Release 3. Squeeze. Release 4. Squeeze. Release 5. Now turn palms in. Don't go out wide. Stay here tight. Squeeze in. Release. It's much easier on the spine and the neck for your scapular row to keep it here. Release. 2 more. Release. Keep that ab engagement. Release. Carefully pouring yourself up. We're going to set these weights down. Slide your band off. And we're going to go 4 light weights. We've got a retract, protract we're going to do as we make our way on back down. We're going to take our right leg forward and the left leg back. And if you find weight is too much for this, you could have just your golf club in this hand, nothing in this hand. You could go the opposite way. The same with the weight. 2 fist distance apart. It's an inhale here as you reach through that left arm. Exhale, lead with your elbow, opening up. Follow it. Fold back in. Inhale back forward. As you're exhaling, open, hollow out those abs. And reach. Got another plane here for that spine. Here's 3. Inhale. Open for 4. Keep your shoulder blades down. Inhale. Going for 8. Open for 5. Good. Here's opening for 6. Open for 7. And open for 8. This is great for your ankle mobility as well as the proprioception with a change of range of motion. Change sides. Right side's back. Left side's forward. Drop your shoulders. Inhale as you reach through with that right arm. Exhale, open. Folding all the way through. Then you fold, coming back through with your breath. Exhale, hollow it out. Keep your spine over top of your pelvis. Good. Open for 3. And close. Open for 4. And close. Open for 5. Keep the other arm long. And close. Open for 6. And close. Open for 7. And close. Think of those abs. There's your last one. Gently close. Roll your shoulders. We're going to get an eagle stretch. Then we've got another standing rotation set to do that we're going to add on before we make our way down. As you see, we've made our way into a little bit more mobility, deeper core, and balance. Bring your right arm forward. Bring that elbow somewhere in line with your navel. Thumb is facing towards you, pinky away. Scoop that left arm up and around. If the hands just go here, that's great. As long as you can find something to connect with, then start your squeeze. You don't need to do this because this takes away from the integrity of the stretch. Lift up through the elbows, pull down through the shoulder blades, give yourself a little tip. Big breaths that open up the serratus. We've worked that fairly heavily today, particularly with the breath, giving it some extra care to help with your rotation and strength for the upper portion of the body. One more breath here. Gently bring the neck back up. Start to release the squeeze, unwind, shoulder roll. Bring the opposite arm in front. Sweep it up. They're always going to be a little different. Find where you can get that squeeze, because that squeeze pulls the shoulders, the rhomboids and teres apart to help open up the serratus, and the breath finishes opening up those muscles to stretch that. Lift up through the elbow, tip through the chin. Nice big breath here. Knees are just soft. Keeping your squeeze going. One more full breath here. Let that breath go. With your next inhale, bring the head back up in alignment. Start to release your squeeze. Give yourself a shoulder roll. Grab whatever you're using for the rotations, whether it's a strap, belt, towel, golf club, yardstick. Bring the arms on up in front of you first. 2 fist distance apart. We're going to start with the ribs. We're going to inhale to the right through the ribs. Exhale, center. And turn, back, center. 3, center. 4, center. Keep your shoulders down. Be aware of those abs. Center. Now hinge on over just through the ribs. And turn, center. 2, think of where your pelvis is at. Soften your knees a little bit if you need to go into that golf stance. Last one just through the ribs. Now take it out through the hips. Go ahead. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And for you golfers, keep your head down. Even if you're not a right hand shot, just practice. You could do the weight shift as you go through. Just stay small. That's your exhales. You turn, purposely tighten, back center, and turn, and center. Whether you shift weight, if you're a split stance, make this one your last one. And I'm going to do this to the opposite side. Come up, roll your shoulders, find all that awareness, float the arms forward. Here we go to that left side, just to the ribs. Inhale, turn, blow through that straw center. Keep your shoulder blades down on your ribs. 3, and turn. 4, and turn. 5, and turn. Hinge on over, find your stance. Just through the ribs again. Head's going with you to start. Exhale. And exhale. 3, and turn. We're going to change the breath in 2 more. Turn. 1, and turn now through the hips. This is your exhale. Inhale. If it bothers your back, stay with the other breath until you're stronger. 3. Good. 4. 1 more. Now go over to your golf stance. Add the power with the shift of the legs. Keep your head looking down. And through the hips. Good. 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Soften through the arms. Come up. We're going to bring those arms up overhead. Find your 2 fist distance apart here. If you need to go a little bit wider, don't go past your shoulder blades. So you can, it's halfway in between, a little bit wider than your armpits, but not quite as wide as your shoulders. We're going to add on to this. We're going to exhale over to our right. Now turn and reach. Come back up, all the way up. Exhale over. Inhale, turn, look down. Exhale, look forward, draw yourself back up. Exhale over. Inhale, turn, look down. Exhale up, all the way up. Exhale, tip over. Turn, look down. Inhale up. Exhale up. 1 more. Take it back over. Turn and look down. Bring and look forward. Come up. Make sure the shoulder blades are down. Knees are still slightly soft. Tailbone lengthened. Exhale to the left. Turn and look down. Exhale back forward. Inhale up. Exhale over, lifting out of those ribs. Turn and look. Back forward. Bring it up. Exhale over. Turn and look. Bring it forward. Inhale up 3. Exhale over. Inhale, turn and look. Exhale up. Here's 4. Last one. Take it over. Turn and look. Bring it up. Draw it up. Big shoulder roll here. We'll sit our strap down. We'll make our way down the floor. Keep everything kind of handy. Once you're down on your hands and knees, we're going to go cat-cows. And then we're going to stand on our knees for a little bit more mobility and balance. Make sure your fingers are spread underneath your shoulders. Middle toe, heel in alignment with the back of your knees. And always lead with your pelvis for your cat-cows. Just get something in here to move your spine. If you're standing coming out of your car, truck, Jeep, wherever you drive, you can always place your hands on your seat. You can place your hands on your knees and do a little cat-cows too before you make your way out to the course. Now we're going to find ourselves standing on our knees. Weight is optional for this. Let's take that right leg forward, that retract, protract. We're going to do that here. Keep this knee right in line where the femur comes into the pelvis, kneecap with that. Check out to make sure that back foot, that the toes are in line with the heel and the back of the knee. Float your arms up with an exhale. Open back up. Inhale, close. If you want to challenge your balance even more, close your eyes. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Make sure you don't fall over. Inhale, close. Let's get one more this side. And close. Float the arms on down. I'm going to have you grab your weight if you like. This is where you could use that small ball, towel, or pillow. Hold it in the hands. Torso, just a regular torso twist to that side. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Bring out your abs as you turn. Back center. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Center 3. So you're flowing through that straw. Center 4. Going for 8. And center. 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 And center. Lower the shoulders. Sit that on down. And let's change sides. Right leg back. Left leg forward. The knee on that. Make sure this knee is following that middle toe as well as that back side. Middle toe following the ankle and the knee. Float the arms up forward, just 5 of these. Exhale as you peel back and open. Inhale and close. So if you want to challenge that balance again, close the eyes. Inhale forward. Exhale, close. Inhale forward. Exhale. Inhale 5. And exhale. Inhale it forward and close. Give yourself a shoulder roll. Open the eyes. You can use again the ball or your weight. Pick what's handy and what's comfortable for you at this point. Take a breath here. Exhale. Blow through that straw. Inhale back center. And center. Drawing those abs in. 3. Really wringing them out. Keep the shoulder blades down. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And whoops, I did 2 too many. So now you have to do 2 on the other side. I'll run the parking lot. Standing joke for those who know. Let's get the 2 on the other side to make it up. We have a bird out here who has been throwing herself at the window for almost a month now. There's our 2. She's back and distracting me. She met me this morning at 5 o'clock. She's calling for a mate that's not in here. It's a little lady cardinal. We're going to find our way back down on hands and knees. And we have this little set of quadrupeds we're going to do. We're going to hit some Superman and a few things on our side to finish out some of the mobility and core strength that you need. Spread those fingers wide. Extend back through those toes if you can. If you have really rigid arches, you may need to roll up your mat so your feet can hang off. So you have a connection here so you're not putting all the weight on your kneecaps and eventually have some issues with those. Now draw those abs in and up and engage your pelvic floor. Keep all of that there. And if you need to do that little rock to find, is it level, do that little rock. We're going to start with the right arm. Exhale it forward. Thumb is up to the sky always so you don't damage your rotator cuff because when you go this way, you're contracting through the rear delt, you rotate onto your AC joint, and you trap all those ligaments and tendons that go through there. So keep that open. Now with that open, tap the pinky down, float it up. There's always a learning lesson in there, why I do things, and tap. So you know why, so it's not some kind of weird magic. One more here, and bring it in. Going functional anatomy. Rotate that thumb up, lift it up, tap it down. And two, keep that ab engagement. Keep everything level. Don't let your pelvis start to shift over because you lifted an arm up. Last one here. Bring that down. Fingers still spread. Float that left leg back by tucking the toes and just slide it. Now think of 12, 6, 3, and 9. Make sure your hips aren't up. Find that levelness. Squeeze your glute to lift the leg. Tap it down. And lift, tap. Keep all that engaged. Don't let it start hanging towards the floor. One more here. Bring it down. Other side. Tuck those toes. Slide that leg back. Find where the pelvis is at. Squeeze through the glute. Tap. Squeeze. Tap. So squeeze your bum. Tap. 4. Tap. 5. Tap. Bring it down. Give yourself a cat-cow. Little break there. And now we're going to put opposite limbs together. We're going to go right arm. Let's go left arm and right leg. So that we'll get that little break. Tuck your toes of your right leg. Send it back. Check your abs. Squeeze the glute to lift that side up. Press your pelvis back over to that right side. Don't want to start coming to the left. You don't want to be a table that's sloping. Now float that left arm on up. Think of how level everything is. Tap everything down, keep the abs, lift up. Tap, tap, tap and hold. Go to the corners of your mat. Tap down, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift. Bring them back in, draw them in, set them down, give yourself a cat-cow, breathe for a second. Now find that awareness again. Press the ground away lightly through your limbs. Extend that left leg long by tucking your toes. Peek back at it. As you squeeze the glute, make sure your toes are still looking down versus out to the side or in. Turn them so they're looking down, at least encourage them. They may take time if the rotators are tight. And extend that long arm out. Make sure the hip isn't doing this and the shoulders aren't doing this. You're not trying to lift beyond your spine or where they should go. Now with your exhale, tap down, lift. And I do purposely hold you there to talk because you're working your stabilizers of your spine. Those who know me know that. Pause here. Go to your corners. We go slow. A, so you're working musculature, not going muscle endurance. B, so you're getting your stabilizer work. C, so your brain has a process of how things work because everything works in steps through the neurons. Lift up, hold here, bring it in. If you just keep going from thing to thing to thing, there are no steps for it to process things. Draw those limbs in. Give yourself a cat-cow, and that helps with everything you do of how your brain functions to be able to have steps to draw on to help you through whatever it happens to be. Sit back in the child's pose for a moment and take the pressure off your wrists, and then we're going to go down on our belly for a set of Superman. You're going to lengthen your legs long to join me down there, and I'm going to have you start by reaching out with your toes so your big toes are connected. You're going to feel your kneecaps instantly draw up and keep that connection to the ground. Don't float your legs up to start with. You're going to start to feel more of your quad
You're going to feel like you want to press your pelvis into the ground, but do not press your pelvis to the ground. That causes some hyperextension in the back. Not only are you not able to fully use the muscles that you want to use for this exercise, you will hurt your back over time. It won't take long if you do them often. Now from there, just keep the glutes soft to start, but be aware that they're there. Draw your abs in and up, even though of course they're touching the ground. Start to draw some awareness in the chest. We'll extend the arms out long. If you need something to rest your head on, have something to rest your head on. Draw your shoulder blades down. Start to really pull them down and tighten through your abdominals to help with your lift with an exhale. Inhale, lower the upper body down. Draw the shoulders down and in, and release. Draw them down and in for 3. Thumbs are up, and release. Draw and lift, and release. Feel your back do the work. That's who should be doing the work versus your pecs throwing you up or your biceps. Then keep this here engaged. So pull the shoulder blades down. Keep those abs in and up, and squeeze the shoulder blades into the spine. Now start to float the toes up. Squeeze the glutes to lift the legs, and release. Squeeze the glutes, release 2. Squeeze the glutes, release 3. Squeeze the glutes, release 4. Squeeze the glutes. Keep those abs firm to protect your back, and release. Now squeeze the glutes. Lift the upper body up. Slide the shoulder blades down and together. Release the upper body. Release the lower body. Lift the upper body. Squeeze to lift the lower body. Release the lower body and the upper body. Squeeze the glutes. Lift those legs. Pull the shoulder blades down. Squeeze them. Release the upper body and the lower body. Now put them both together slowly. Start with the upper body squeezing down, lifting. Squeeze those glutes, lift the legs. Release everybody. And pull, squeeze, lift nice and slow. Use that posterior chain. And release one more. Shoulder blades down towards each other. Use those upper abs. Squeeze those glutes for the legs. Lower the upper body down. Let it totally relax. Lower the right leg down. Squeeze it up. Left leg down. Squeeze it up. Right leg down. Squeeze it up. Left leg down. Squeeze it up. Those abs are still really firm. And left leg. Lower both legs. Press yourself up by drawing your hands by armpits or belly. Press. Find your cat. Give yourself a couple cat-cows. Then we're going to grab the band again to go on your side and your small ball. You may want to wait when we get there. You may not. We're going to slide the band around our ankles. We're going to get a little bit more hip strength, isolated versus what we did standing with the band with the squats. We're going to get 2 different types of clams. We're going to get our internal and external. So somewhere down around your shin. If it's more comfortable for you, or if you've been doing clams for a while, go ahead and bring it up around your thighs. Just never on your kneecaps. As you lie on your side, bring the heels in line with the fleshy part of your hips. Lift up through the rib cage. So engage those obliques. This is a make or break for being able to work the hips versus the lower back, doing everything for you. Keep that lifted, belly button pulled in. We're going to start with your external rotations. Your bottom hand can be here, it can be up to the sky. Top arm here or up to the sky. Bottom arm can be folded under long. You can use your ball underneath your roll with your mat. Keep your shoulders down. Squeezing your glute, lift that knee to the sky, feet stay connected, and release. So press right into that band. Nothing else should be moving. You should feel it very deep there. So squeeze it to lift, but slowly release. Don't let it just fall back down. Squeeze for 5, release. Squeeze for 6, release. Squeeze for 7, release. Squeeze for 8, release. Squeeze for 9. You should have a nice little burn going here. Squeeze for 10. Gently release. Take your ball and bring it ahead of you. Right by the crook of your armpit, it can be slightly lower, 2 or 3 ribs. With an exhale, send this forward, just reaching through your shoulder. Squeeze that shoulder blade to the spine to bring it back. Press it forward, draw it back. 3, going for 5 of these, and back. This is some great shoulder mobility, especially if they're tight.
And if you're having trouble moving those during your swing, that you feel like you've got a little hiccup there. One more here. Now angle this going towards your eyebrows. So press up towards that corner of the mat, draw back down. Reach through it, squeeze it back in. Here's 3, squeeze it in. You could use a water bottle, something that's a little taller. That will roll if you don't have a ball. And in. We're going to sit that aside. Bring the hand back comfortably, check and make sure the obliques, abs are engaged. Now let's go for our external rotators. If you have good mobility, meaning nothing down here is wiggling, throwing you, you can lift easily here. You can go to the next step and then use that band. Most people don't. I'd say 75% of us, unless you regularly do them, don't have the mobility. At least one side doesn't. You want to keep it even. You can go into that band and lift from here, rotating up. You pick where you need to be. I'm going to show the level that most of us need to be in. Feet are flexed, keep the knees together, rotate up, tap down, and lift. Keep the obliques lifted. Make sure you're not throwing yourself forward. So place your hand here on your hip. If you feel like, oh, my pelvis is taking me forward, stop so you can actually get the mobility and the strength in that part of the rotation. There's 7, tap, 8, tap, 9, tap, and 10. Gently lower down, keep everything engaged. If you want to wait, we're going to get 5 big rotations here. Lightweight to start, you could always build up. Hand is hovering right above the ground. With an exhale, open all the way up to where you control it so you won't do this. You don't want to do that. You're just going, oh, so that will be dependent on how much weight you can do. So you rotate through those ribs. Inhale back a couple inches above the ground. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Keep the shoulder out your ear. Close 3. Exhale, open. We'll get that one extra in case you tipped on over with me. And open. Close. Here's our bonus one. Exhale. It's always good to feel it out. Lower that down. Change sides. So you're going to find your place on the other side. We're going to start with our external rotation. Find what you need underneath your neck. Lift up those obliques and keep them engaged. Make sure the band didn't slide. Flex your feet. Top hand where you need it. Just don't do this. This puts a lot of pressure in your AC joint and your neck. Squeeze, neck loop, and release. Blah, blah, blah. Lost my tongue there. Press in that band, squeeze that glute. Release 2. Press and squeeze. Feet stay connected. Shoulders down for 4. Abs are fully connected. And squeeze. Release 6. Squeeze. Release 7. The abs will start to become a little bit more automatic. It's going to probably take 6 weeks if you just usually let them hang free, and they may be sore for a while. Let's get one more. Gently release. Now grab that ball. It will actually happen. You'll feel the difference in your strength and especially in your swing. Find that place near the bottom of your ribs. Roll this on out. Protract through there like we did standing when we did the open closes. Exhale. Draw back into that shoulder blade. Roll it out. Keep the obliques lifted. Take it out for 3. Feel that scapula move along your rib cage. Here's 4. Take it out. Bring it in 5. Now take it out going the line of your eyebrows. Press it up to that corner of the mat. Squeeze it back into the spine. Extend it out. Squeeze it in. Extend 3. Squeeze. Extend 4. Squeeze. Here's 5. Draw it back in. We'll sit this off to the side for a moment. Now let's get those internal rotators. Make sure everything's still lifted. Again, I'm going to demonstrate down here. Take your hand right on your bum so you can feel when that lifts, and tap. Make sure both feet are flexed. 2, and lift. 3, make sure you're not doing this. 4, and lift. 5, lift. 6, lift. 7, lift. If you have your hands out, make sure it's all the way down. Don't tender cupcake. 9, and 10. Awesome there. And if you want that weight again, I gotta wait for me. For that rotation, grab it if you would. I know I don't need weight because you already sat it down. Do with what you need because your arm weighs something. Let's exhale our weight open. Rotate through those ribs. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Close to one side is always going to be stronger than the other, but we seek to balance it because that helps everything we do. Here's forward. Exhale, open. We have that bonus one. Good. Exhale, open. And close. Get your bonus. And then we close. We're going to sit our weight off to the side. I'm going to slide the band on off of us. We're going to roll on our back for 5 more bridges, and then we're going to start stretching from there. Hoorah, you made it. Take the feet 2 fist distance apart. Toes are looking forward, flat on the ground, arms are long at your side. With an exhale, just press to the legs first, just feel the difference if the glutes don't do anything, and then back up. And now, and add those glutes in with it, and lower 2. So just like a squat, you're pressing the ground away. And 3. And press up, don't totally lower and totally release everything. 4. Here's your last one. Just kind of balance everything out there. Good. Lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Prepare yourself to lift up into 1 more bridge. We're going to do a nice stretch for your lower back. So lift on up. Take your thumbs to the bottoms of your ribs and pinkies right at the tops of the hips. Release your right glute and just turn. So you're bringing 9 o'clock up to the sky. Let it come center. Bring 3 o'clock up to the sky. Let it come center. Lower and into our vertebrae. Bring 9 o'clock back up. Center. 3 o'clock back up. Center. Lower down another inch. We're going to do this all the way until your bum connects. It's a great mobility movement and stretch for those multifidi. Good. Keep going. Take your time with this. Inch by inch. When you can't slide your bum anymore, even it out. And then hug your knees into your chest. First, release everything. So let your back go ahead and flatten for a moment so you can get your gluteals. Give yourself a breath here. Circle through your ankles. Then find your neutral spine and hug the knees in. Nice big breaths here. With an exhale, let's send the left leg on up to the sky. Push that heel right on up. You can take the hand behind and give yourself a little extra hamstring stretch and pull it towards you. Then keep that neutral spine. Then you're going to send it down towards the left corner of the mat. You're going to keep hugging that right knee in. Give yourself 3 big deep circles right into the bursa of the hip. Keep your spine nice and neutral. And then keeping your heel down towards your hip. Reach down if you need to use your yoga strap or a towel, nothing stretchy. Go ahead and grab it. Flex your foot. Keep that heel towards the hip as you go to a figure 4 stretch here. Let your right hand just be a guide so the knee doesn't fall in towards your shoulder. Don't try to press it away. And just give yourself that nice rotation as you pull that ankle towards your navel. 1 more breath here. Rotate back neutral and lift it up to where you would normally go for your figure 4 stretch. Same thing. Right hand's just a guide. Foot is nicely flexed and rotate it in. Bring it back center. Now take that leg and cross right over and find the floor. Whether it's up on your thigh, whether it's down by your shin, just find the floor with that foot. And let the knee fall over towards this left side. Try to keep that hip down, but don't force it so you feel your neck tensing up. Or you start to cramp in your thigh. Then let it open on up. Take both arms up overhead and clasp through your thumbs. Reach center first, and then lift up through the shoulders and arms and take this over to the left corner of your mat. Just lengthening through the spine, getting all through the sides. You're going to lift up again and come center, and now take it to the right side. You should feel this a little bit more in the abdominals. We did a lot of twisting in oblique work today. Come back center. Well, release the arms, carefully release. Fold the knee up first, hug it in for a moment, then draw the other one in. Keeping them both in, then press that foot up to the sky. You can draw that in again, keep your neutral spine. Keep the foot flexed and then send it to the corner of the mat. Keep that left heel down by your hips. You take that right hand and start to draw it in. Left hand again is just the guide, shoulders are down. Yes, you could relax your abdominals. Foot is flexed. One more breath here, then come back to a neutral position and take it to where you normally would for your figure four stretch. And again, left hand's just a guide versus trying to push it. Somebody's on the other side pulling it, holding it stable as you pull that ankle towards you. Keep that right leg heavy. With this next breath, we're going to sit this leg down across. Again, where the foot can contact the ground. And then try to let the knee just start to come down towards the ground, getting a little bit more different angle at that glute max, but not to the point of cramping in your inner thigh. One more breath here, and then release and let that open on up. Just don't let it rest on your kneecap. So if it's on your shin, if it's close, go on either side. Just letting it open. Take one arm back at a time. I'm going to take the arms and lift up to the shoulders as you connect it to those thumbs, and take it over to the left side of your mat. The abdomen, balancing that out. Come back center for a moment, and then take it over, getting that other oblique. They worked hard for you. They work hard in the golf game for you. Carefully lift up and come back center. And then we'll bring that knee up, uncross. Hug both knees in again for a moment. And we'll sit one down at a time. Keep them a little wide, arms out to a T. Just basic spinal twist. Keeping the feet so they're not connected. That way you're going to get through inner and outer rotators in your sacrum more efficiently. If it's comfortable for you, pick up that left foot, place on top of that right knee or thigh. If it's not a comfortable feeling, just inch over that right foot away, but don't take the knee past the armpit. Either will get you a little bit more on up into that rotator, higher up in the femur head, and where the psoas major feathers down. Give yourself a breath here. Then release the foot, or bring the foot in. Find that center balance, squeeze through the glutes, adjust back as needed for the other side. Give yourself a moment to settle, don't go for the kill. Let everything settle for a moment. Again, the process is for the brain. Now make your decision. Do you want the foot up there on the leg or knee, or are you walking that foot away? Nice big breaths here. One more. And then we'll either walk the foot back in or take it off the knee. Squeeze the glutes. Hug back in. Give yourself a couple more ankle circles. We'll lower one leg down at a time, and we'll finish with the pigeon stretch. If the pigeon stretch isn't comfortable, go back to that figure four stretch for you. A lot of variations you can do with this. We're not going to go to the traditional yoga where you go from down dog and fling the leg on through. We're just going to start from hands and knees. Draw your right leg through. If you know your hips are tight and you need to stay in king pigeon, stay here. Swing it through just a little. Sit over on that hip. Line your belly button up with that kneecap. Lift up through the chest as you just allow the hips to open up. If that's the comfortable spot you know you need to be in for this, go for that there. If you're here going, I think I can lower myself down, you can keep that foot underneath there. Take the ball towel or pillow, put underneath that other hip. You bring the ground to you. And then you can start to lower down to your elbows and possibly all the way down. If you need to roll up your neck, put it underneath your head, do that as well. We're going to hold here for 4 breaths. So once you find that point, so you can actually settle into it and let that hip start to open up. And of course, if you're feeling Gumby-like and that shin will go the same line as your mat, and you can go all that there, go for it. As you see,
Our body's not going to be like yet this morning. Maybe by the end of the day. Give yourself 2 more breaths, no matter where you pick to be. That includes if you're on your back doing figure 4 again, because this is not a comfortable position. And then with that third inhale, start to release the leg if you're on your back, bringing it in and hugging everything in. If you're here in some variation of pigeon, lift yourself back up, bring the leg forward, swing back on your knees and hands, cat-cow, go to the other side. Give yourself a couple of walks side to side if you're on your back doing figure 4. And then we're going to swing that opposite leg forward, find where it needs to be, and typically one side is more mobile than the other. That's normal. So if you're in your king pigeon, you're up here, you're kind of in between, you're going to be here, tuck your little ball towel or pillow here. If you're Gumby, fling that leg on up. And if you need that back toe tuck because you have knee issues or just it does not feel right because of your anatomy, keep your back toe tucked to help your patella position. Find where you need to be and just settle in and breathe. One neck hip open up. Nice slow breath. 3 more breaths here. Taking your time. Giving your body the strength, getting that gain better. Because it always feels better if you feel good about how you play, even if it's not a competitive thing. Nobody likes to be injured going out doing something they love. You like to feel good about it. 1 more breath, and then we'll start to make our way on up, hands and knees for everybody to give yourself a couple cat-cows. Golf is one of those games that changes within the game if the weather happens to change on you and the wind direction changes. Give yourself a couple here. Do any other stretches that you need that you know of. I hope this is what you were looking for, and I hope this will help everybody. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Cat Cave. I'm Leslie Oring. I hope that you very much enjoyed what I put together for mobility, flexibility, and strength for your golf game. Now here is that little bonus segment that I mentioned in the beginning. You just got to the course, you're running late, you know they're standing there waiting for you for your tee time, or you've got those people who are like, you don't need to do that, but you know that your body needs that. As you're sitting there in your car, take that moment, if you can, give yourself 5 pelvic tilts. Just sitting there, because you can do this seated, just start to move through your spine. Think about if you did make it on through the exercises as we talked about the pelvic clock. As you're rotating, sit, push 3 o'clock back, then push 6 o'clock back. Then give yourself a couple more tilts. If you can turn and pretend to reach for that console, go ahead for a moment, give yourself some big breath. Turn and reach for the door, give yourself a breath. Turn a little bit further, keep your shoulders down. You're still seated in your car. Turn and give yourself another breath here. Now with this turn, if you can reach, if you were going in that back seat on the passenger side behind, good. Take that arm, maybe you have your window down, and reach on out as if you're going to reach in the back seat here. Try to do that again. Give yourself some big breath. And the other one, just getting some gentle mobility there. Lift the shoulders up, roll them back. Take the hands out alongside of you if there's enough room, depending on your vehicle. Press out if you need to bring them up. Move through your wrists, open, close your fingers. Then as you're getting out of your vehicle, if they're not standing there waiting for you, just give yourself 5 basic squats. And if you still have a little bit of time after this 5th one here, squat up and turn. They don't have to be perfect. Just push the hips back. Try to keep your feet solid. If you can give yourself 3 to each side here, and then just lift up the leg, rotate, go the opposite way. Hang right onto your car if you need to. Get the other side. And even it out. If you're still okay, if you have one of your clubs, if you've just kind of slowly made your way back, take a club. Start with the ribs.
Give yourself 4 or 5. Inhale as you turn. You're going to get more bang out of your buck if you inhale with the turn right now. Exhale as you come center. And then start to take it through the hips. You still have a moment after getting 5 each side here. Take the feet wider. Soften through your knees. Do the same thing, but hinge over. Go through the ribs first. With that inhale as you turn. That opens up your serratus. Keep your shoulder blades down, which is going to help warm everything more and loosen those muscles. Then get through the hips. And if you have time, add the third set with a shift. Nice and easy. Maybe they haven't spied you yet. Maybe you still have a moment. You do, come up, walk the legs in, turn your toes out. Just roll up on your toes several times. Easy calf raises. Turn them back in. Turn them center. Then rock back on your heels. And you can have your hand on the back of your vehicle or the other side. So you're doing the basic mobility. Still have time? Take your hands down to your knees. Get rid of your club. Circle them around. Take them the opposite way. Pick up one leg again. Get back through the hips. Try to draw a bigger circle this time. Go the opposite. Go to that opposite leg. Pick up your club one more time. Press it up. Pull it down. Press it up. Maybe they're going, what's he doing over there lifting weights? Maybe. Keep it up that last time. Get through your rotator cuff. Push it if you were drawing a straight line, side to side. Open up through those arms. Bring it forward. Bring it behind you where you can, that you're not popping your ribs. You may need to bend your elbows a little bit more, as if you were flossing the back of your head. Pick it up and over a couple times. And there you go, some very basic, less than 5 minutes. You could do some of that as you're walking up there, depending on if you're pulling a cart, if you're already in a cart, where you have your clubs at. You might have to do one side at a time as you're walking, pushing, or pulling. But I hope that helps you, get you a little bit warmer, a little bit more mobile. And any questions, feel free to send a quick comment, email that I can answer and give you a little bit more. Enjoy. Hey there, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the session on mobility, strength, and flexibility for golfers. Here's that little bonus section at the end, as I talked about at the very beginning, that you just got to the golf course. You're running late, whether you're late from work, traffic, whatever happened to stall you, or you've got those friends who are always sitting there like, what do you need to do that for? Just come on out, join us, just go. But you know that your body needs it. You appreciate taking care of your body. So how do we do this? You pulled into the parking lot, you're sitting there, nobody's standing there right at your car looking at you yet. Give yourself 5 pelvic tucks. You can do this sitting down. It's an exhale as you tighten everything. You're going to feel your back go against the back of the seat and release. Go and give yourself 3 more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Find where you normally sit. Now, if you did make it through the video, we talked about the pelvic clock, with your head being noon, the legs being 6, one side being 3, the other side being 9. Now we're going to go to that 3 and 9. Just rotate, keeping everything stable, and back center. Bring 3 back up and center. Do it one more time. Now bring 9 towards 3 and release. And up and release. And that little wiggle and release. Good. Lift up your arms, turn with an inhale. You're going to get more bang for your buck. Reach for your center console. Come back center. Do it again. And back center. One more time. Keep your hips in place. Now reach for your door. Just rotate, center. Rotate, center. Inhale, rotate, center. Circle through your shoulders. Take them back. Good. Now we're going to rotate and reach in the back seats. We're going to lift up that right arm, your anterior arm, turn, reach for your back seat, come back in. Do it 2 more times with an inhale. Good. Maybe you have your windows open, maybe it's too cold or windy. But we're to pretend to do the same, that left side with an inhale. Just stretch, inhale. With this, we're to take ourselves outside the car. Hopefully nobody's there yet. Give yourself 5 basic squats. Drop and up. 2, press the ground away, squeeze the glutes, just get some blood flowing. 3, 4, and 5. Not going for anything deep, just getting things moving. Nobody's still here. Circle through the knees. Give yourself 5 each way. Keep the abs in place, shoulders down. Excellent. They're still not here. Hold your car if you need. Balance. Press one leg into the ground. Through the foot. Tighten the glute. Lift the knee up. Circle 3 times each way. 2, 3. Then get that opposite side and lift. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Nobody's still here. Take the feet a little wide. If you can grab a club, or grab your towel or your jacket, take the arms up, pull them down, float them up, pull, just easy range of motion. Pull. Let's get 2 more, then we'll keep them up. Because if nobody's there, pretend you're flossing the top of your head. Just pull back and forth and start opening up those rotator cuffs. Go through the elbows first, now go through straight arms, pulling. Excellent. If nobody's still there, bring the arms on down from here, float them in front, turn through the ribs first, alternate sides. Again, inhale with that rotation, more bang for your buck, opening up those ribs. Stay right about shoulder level. Nobody's still looking, go through the hips. Turn and turn. Give yourself 1 more set here. Angle it back up if nobody's there. Angle. Take the legs a little wide. Open up through the hips. Lift on up. Last set here. Nobody's still looking at you. Turn from here. Right through the hips. Keep the knees soft to protect them and the ankles. Keep your shoulder blades down. Last one here. If they're still not looking, reach up, pull down through the shoulders. Give yourself a couple more here and then fold through. Go back to that goal pose. Floss the back of your head. Just move right through the shoulders, getting everything nice and warm. If nobody's still there, bring the arms back down in front. Hinge on over from your hips. Let the arms hang. Twist from the ribs 3 times to your right. And then take it on through the hips. You can keep the head down or let it follow. Just go with your stiffness. Then go to the opposite side or looseness. Turn through the ribs first with that inhale. And then through the hips. Good. Give yourself a little hang here. Pedal through your legs. So go ahead and start opening up those hamstrings and let the arms hang. Sit your club if you grabbed it, or your shirt or towel, whatever is there. Clasp the hands behind as you press yourself up. Open up through the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, release them to keep the clasp, squeeze and release, and squeeze and release. Squeeze and hold here with a big breath, then gently release. Bring the arms forward. Just circle through the wrists. By this point, they probably noticed you, but you've gotten several minutes worth of really good, effective joint mobility and warming up everything. I hope you find this helpful. You have a wonderful day. Send me an email or a quick comment if you need a little bit more.